Welcome back to the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you are definitely in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Merry Christmas, everybody. You'll have to forgive me. I was trying to do something funny with that overlay. Kind of kooky. But just wanted to tell everybody Merry Christmas and talk just a little bit about something that kind of came across my mind the last couple of days since the end of the recruiting period, which started on Wednesday, ended on Friday, ended in a I thought it was good on Wednesday. It got better as the week went on, obviously, for the Oklahoma Sooners. And something that I hadn't really realized was that it had not been quite as good for the old Grinch over there in Southern California. It's a shocking thing. Folks, if you're enjoying our content that we bring you week after week, I'd ask that you please hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, please do so now so that we are as close to monetizing. I got to get to 1,000 followers. We are almost there. Every one of you counts. I'd appreciate that. If we could do that by New Year's Day, I would be so very happy. That would be basically 1 week from today. So hopefully we'll get part of the way there today. But again, keeping on this Christmas theme, it really was kind of a Christmassy spirit for the most part. There was even Grinches involved from the old OU fan base there as well. Though most of them have cheered up since Thursday afternoon when Peyton Bowen of Denton Guyer flipped his commitment to the Oregon Ducks back over to the old team that he says that he wanted all along, the Oklahoma Sooners. All is right in the world in Soonerland. Overall, Oklahoma finishes the early part of this recruiting period, this class anyway, not quite done. Once you start looking at transfer portal stuff, they can add other players throughout until right around it'll be till like May. There is another signing period starting in early February. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But kind of something I just wanted to kind of go over and show everybody. Something we should take a look at. Recruiting rankings. So what you have, taking a look at it, is Oklahoma, as even without Peyton Bowen, they were going to be in the top 10. They were hovering right between 7 and 8 on there. Alabama, Georgia, Texas make up the top 3. Number 4, Miami, and then number 5, Oklahoma, with the addition of Peyton Bowen, the 5-star safety out of Denton Guyer. Peyton made for the third 5-star recruit to sign with the Sooners during that period, along with, of course, you had Jackson Arnold and PJ Adebaware out of Kansas City, the amazing 6'4", long-armed, prototypical edge rusher that has just seen his recruiting stock jump since signing with Oklahoma early during the summer. Now, it's funny to me when you start thinking about old Grinchy Lincoln, right? Right after Bedlam, a story, it almost, thinking about Christmas, it almost seems like it was just a real Christmas story in itself. Right after the Bedlam game, he tiptoes out in the darkness of night, leaving to the beach in Southern California, where he takes his soon-to-be Heisman-winning quarterback with him and guts the program on the way out. And all throughout the year, we've heard so much about old Lincoln, who our buddy, the outlaw of college football, calls, Linky Boy. Anyway, Lincoln and even his little buddy, his little elf, it almost seems like, Colin Cowherd, have throughout the year talked about how, oh my goodness, how is it that Lincoln leaves an 11-2 team for the Sooners and they go 6-6, or they've lost 3 in a row, or whatever it was. And while he puts up an 11-2 season with what was a 4-8 team, well, that's all well and good, and it sounds great in the fairy tale land. And but let's just kind of talk about why that was. One of the big things that old elf Colin Cowherd continued to espouse as far as the reason why Lincoln is so great and anointed as the chosen one of the USC program, which makes college football great when California's USC Trojans are among the elite. Um, Okay, but let's just talk about exactly. I'll get out of the stupid voice. Something that we've heard all year, and it's all part of this, and it is a fairy tale, that Lincoln said this, and then so did Cowherd, but they continue to tell you that the reason that he left Norman was because you just can't recruit the type of players that you need to get to that next level, which next level would mean not only getting to the playoff with your great quarterbacks, but winning it, or even a game in it. I mean, even a game. 3 trips to the playoffs for Lincoln's teams, not a win. And in fact, they, aside from the first one, which you could argue really wasn't his team, they weren't close in any of the games. So, okay, if that's the case, you can't recruit to the elite level that you need to, like what you're going to need to do and what you will do once you get to Southern California. Explain something to me. Nowhere in this top 5 am I seeing the USC Trojans. Nowhere in the top 10 am I seeing these USC Trojans. Hell, they're nowhere in the top 14 recruiting classes after the early signing period. In fact, they come in at number 15, 10 spots behind the Oklahoma Sooners, who not only did they recruit 3 5-stars, just like the SC Trojans did. SC, their 3 5-star players consisted of, let's see here, Malachi Nelson, the quarterback from Los Alamitos High School in California, along with his teammate Makai Lemon, wide receiver, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Same school, Los Alamitos High School in Los Alamitos, California. And also Bishop Gorman, wide receiver, Zachariah Branch, who's the other 5-star in that group. Not surprisingly, Lincoln is going to pick up 5-star offensive talent. Not a big surprise. This is what he's good at. He's good at quarterback-driven football teams. And so he's going to get great quarterbacks. Caleb Williams was his 3rd Heisman Trophy winner under his tutelage. So they are going to give him, he's going to continue to get Heisman caliber quarterbacks. Funny thing is, so did the Sooners. Jackson Arnold won the Elite 11 that Malachi Nelson also competed in. Jackson won it. He also brought along his teammate, 5-star Peyton Bowen, and also PJ Adebawari. Those are the 5-star players in the Oklahoma recruiting class. Something else, though. Here's the reason why the rest of the class, this is how it shakes out. When you start looking at USC, they had their 3 5-stars, led, of course, by Nelson. But then, after that, only Braylon Shelby, the edge rusher out of Friendswood, Texas, 6'4.5", 235 pounds. He is the only other player in the USC recruiting class that is in the top 100 of the 247 composite. So he is a 4-star, rated at number 76 in the composite, which, listen, great player. When you start looking past that, you see that USC had 7 4-star players in total, 10 3-stars in their 20 commitments from the actual recruiting of high school kids. Okay. But Oklahoma, where it's very hard to, and it's impossible to recruit these elite level defensive players for sure. 2 defensive 5-star players in Bowen and Adebawari, not to mention a total of 8 players in the top 100 of the 247 composite. They include Jacquez Petaway, the top 100 receiver speed guy out of Texas, Houston area, unbelievable player. As the Sooners had 6 players recruited out of Florida. That's the most probably ever for an Oklahoma team, and surely recruiting with a SEC flavor, as you tend to see out of Brent Venables led teams. Also, out of the Speed State, you had safety who will play corner at Oklahoma, Makari Vickers. Unbelievable athlete, unbelievable talent, all kinds of speed. He's going to be an amazing cornerback. You also had Jacoby Johnson, athlete out of Oklahoma itself. He's from Mustang. This guy might be the best athlete in the whole group. He could be the best athlete on the team when he gets there. You also had Samuel Omosigo as a top 100 linebacker. As I was saying, Jacoby Johnson is going to play safety as well at Oklahoma. He is a two-way player. He could have probably played on the offense for Jeff Lebby as well. It looks as if he's going to be a safety at Oklahoma. Also, another big-time recruit that they brought in, the second-ranked cornerback in the country off of the JUCO list, Kendall Doby, who has shown big things as well. Look, out of everybody, they had 8 total in the top 100, along with, Samuel Omosigo. You also had players such as, you even brought in some guys through the transfer portal, and Reggie Pearson Jr. from Texas Tech. He's the guy that put the big hit on Dylan Gabriel during the game, right towards in the overtime whenever Gabriel caught that pass. He also, put a monster hit on Eric Gray as well during that game. Big hitter in the secondary. He's going to be playing safety as well. You have Jacob Lacey coming in at the defensive tackle position, along with Dasan McCullough, another transfer out of Indiana, 4-star. Last year made a big impact at Indiana when playing at the same school where his father was coaching there at Indiana. His father's now at Notre Dame. Him and his brother Day, who will play safety as well. Another 4-star in that top 247 will also be part of this class as well. Austin Stogner, tight end, coming back as well to finish out his career at Oklahoma. Now, just looking at the way things are, USC 10 spots behind. They only had 7 4-stars. Oklahoma had a total of 13 4-stars. When you add in the transfer portal guys, that actually jumps to 15 total 4-star players that were in the mix in this recruiting period as well. Also had 9 3-star players in the Oklahoma class to USC's 10. But as you can see, it's maybe what Colin and Lincoln were saying about the ability to recruit. Maybe it's just an inability on Lincoln's part to recruit. Shocking, isn't it? Wow. If anything, for us Oklahoma fans, it should warm your heart on this Christmas day as it does mine. We're talking about the fact is that Lincoln has been exposed for what he really is. Everybody was in love with what he had done. He's in the conference championship first year right out of the bat. They're not playing defense, but they're going to win the conference title. Then he gets smacked by Utah, which Utah, they generally, well, they're not recruiting up in the high end of the top 25. What they have is a coach that gets guys that fit his program, play hard-nosed defense, and are physical, period. They ate Lincoln for lunch twice last season. Obviously, the first one, it was by a 2-point conversion, but they came back in that game from being down early, just like they came back from being down 17-3 in the conference title game. It's not just about quarterbacks, but where you figured you might end up losing something with this new coaching staff was in that quarterback deal. Not so. Malachi Nelson is great. I'm not sure that he's better than Jackson Arnold. You know, in the competitions, he hasn't been. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. All in all, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you got to be left scratching your head as to why it is you've been told for this entire year that you can't recruit to Norman, and that's why you're never going to win a national championship. And yet, these guys are coming in droves. This is now 2 top 10 recruiting classes for Brent Venables since he took over. He got there late and still salvaged the number 8 class in last season's recruiting, or well, for 2022 recruiting. And again, Lincoln wasn't in the top 10 there either. So I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I feel like you kind of want Colin Cowherd to maybe put out a correction, you know, to let us all know that he was wrong. Or maybe not. He probably won't, though. He's going to give you another excuse why Lincoln's so great and Oklahoma's not. But just remember, don't let that Grinch tell you different. These guys know what they're doing on the recruiting trail. They do know what they're doing as far as putting a defense together. And Jeff Levy knows what he's doing with an offense, too. If you're going to put your money on either one of these teams winning a national title in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, I know I wouldn't be putting it on SC. Just me. But anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everybody has enjoyed the show up until this point. I have certainly enjoyed putting it on for you. Gonna be having a new host coming in here in the next week or so. Looking forward to that. A good friend of mine, somebody that we, I feel like we're gonna do pretty well together. I'm still working on trying to get Bryce to come back as well. Even at least on a limited basis. I miss him. I think the show misses him, and but there's going to be a lot of new things coming for the new year. I look forward to it. Can't wait to see everybody again, and we're going to talk a lot more, obviously, as the recruiting season goes along. We have the bowl game coming up for Oklahoma, so we'll be doing some stuff with that as well, plus getting into some previews for the college football playoff. You know, obviously having TCU in there along with Ohio State, Michigan, and the defending national champion, Georgia Bulldogs. Thanks a lot, everybody. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget, hit the like, subscribe button. Please help me get to that magic number of 1,000 by the 1st of January. I'd appreciate it. Talk to you guys on the next one. Merry Christmas.